So this was a build-around submission for Merit Liege's Slumber inside of a ramp shell. So we've got Cold Steel Heart, Cultivate, Explore, Grazer to help us get our snow-covered lands into play as fast as possible. We've got some Elder Gargoth, Nissa, and Ugin and Krasis as other ramp payoffs here at the top end of our curve. And I've got Ascendant Spirit here, which looks like an odd inclusion at a glance, but this card is technically a ramp payoff if you think about it, right? Like, you can, the third activation on this, you can activate as many times as you want. Needs More Krasis is the only real card draw. Peak Twitch chat is me hovering over this card that literally draws cards while someone in chat asserts that this card is my only way to draw cards. Not to mention Elder Gargoth is sitting here as well. So stop it, Twitch chat. Get some help and do some reading. Chat, reading is busted in Magic. I am fully expecting them to nerf reading in the next patch. Your win rate will go up significantly if you master reading. It's really good. Reading is for cheater. Yargle is a nerf to reading. I can't read the cards because your frame rate is only 60. That's true. That's true. We need more frames. Old enough to drink. Thanks for the tier 2, Hamblin. I appreciate the 21 months. Welcome back. I mean, to the people that are saying, like, Explore and Cultivate draws cards, like, those aren't, like, traditional card advantage draws cards. Huh? Time to cosplay Mono Blue Snow. Yeah, I think we're supposed to mulligan this. This hand's actually better, right? Because it has all snow mana. This hand sucks. Eldraine packs being the one to put $50 into. What are you looking to play? That's the question. The question to what should you spend money on in Magic Arena is always what are you looking to play and get into? I think I'm just cultivating this turn. I guess I could smack them for 4. I'll smack them for 4. Trying to. We've got Spirit. Yes, we do. We've got Spirit. How about you? Yeah, if your goal is to play Standard, I would not recommend buying Eldraine packs. It's going to rotate. If your goal is to play Historic, I'd actually recommend buying cards that, probably buying packs with Shocklands. Kaladesh is a reasonable one too, because fast lands are very good. We're playing 3 copies of Merit Liege's Slumber. Arlie, thanks for the follow. Good morning. I might be wrong to play this, because if they kill this, this can trade here. This is symmetrical, right? Remove each other non-land permanent. Yeah, this is symmetrical. I think we've died here. And board in some extra copies of Ugin and make the opponent's mid-range deck sad. I only have one more Ugin in the board. That's probably wrong. Probably should have the full 4 Ugin in my 75. Fix that after this game. You already have Shocklands from Rav. Okay, yeah, if your goal is to play Historic, I'd probably say Amonkhet packs. Is that true? I don't know. Amonkhet, honestly, if you think you might poke at Standard, Zendikar and Kaldheim are actually, yeah, I'm gonna say Zendikar and Kaldheim actually, because those have pathways in them and will give you flexibility to play Standard down the line if you choose to. And the pathways are very good in Historic. Kaldheim, yeah, the pathways are just very good lands. Those see a lot of play in a lot of different places. Oh yeah, the Bolt lands are in Zendikar too. Yes, Zendikar. Buy Zendikar packs. Any anti-leak policy on Discord? No. If it's on the internet, feel free to share it. If it's on the internet, it's not like, you know, something illegal. Relevant Magic-related stuff on the internet is always fine. Doesn't really matter what color we pick here. We're just playing this as a 2-mana snow ramp. I assume Ugin's going away here. I buy my magic cards of the dark web, something like that. Looking for more bombs, chat. I just needed to check, okay? Don't judge me. Look at that, by the way. Just like Merit Liege's Slumber Scry 1 3 times. Last time we played this card, getting to scry a bunch with it felt really good. I think we just let this happen, because if I try and Aether Gust this, it's gonna get to kill my Elder Gargoth next turn. I mean, we're definitely holding up Gust this turn. Lovestruck Beast, thanks for the 5 months. Does that make you a 5/5/5? You're a 5/5 for 5 months in Hooklandia? They have a removal spell here. Does our opponent's deck just concede to blue-eye control? Very likely. Ah, shit. Check, I should have tapped those. That's fine. We didn't have enough mana anyways, right? I don't have 3 left over anyways. Not a big deal. I think Vorinclex tends to be kind of an individually weak card overall. Like, I don't think, like, I don't look at a game like look at a game like this and, like, ask yourself why we're losing, right? Vorinclex doesn't solve the problem. If I want more top-end bombs in my deck, I think I'd rather just play, like, more copies of Hydroid Krasis and, like, more copies of Ugin, rather than, like, play a card that makes my cards that are good better. Yeah, you cannot Heartless Act a creature with the bounty counter, that is correct. I mean, lands that we scryed to the bottom a lot. Oh, we shuffled at one point with the Cultivate. I know I put 4th Ugin in my 75. I think Graven Lore is probably just worse than Hydroid Krasis, which is why I'm not playing Graven Lore. Again, like, people suggesting cards that, like, we're not even maxed out on the cards that you're saying they're good with, so let's just, like, play more copies of those cards first. It's very possible that, like, Gargoth's not good, for example. Like, maybe instead of playing this card, I'd rather just, like, play all my Ugin's Bane. I can see that, and then we could, like, round out the Hydroid Krasis. That doesn't seem terrible. See, we'll straight 3/3/3 on the sideboard. Like, if that Gargoth had been a Krasis or an Ugin, we probably win that game. Either of those drag us through that flood a whole lot better. Abzan, or perhaps 4-color food from our opponent here. What's going on, Post the J? So the entire year, welcome back. With great power comes great responsibility. Probably a Citadel build for this opponent. So we'll get to Nissa next turn and to Ugin the following turn, potentially. Yeah, I agree with that full effect. Ugin's usually the best thing you could be doing. If they hit an untapped land next turn, they can Citadel us and kill us. If they don't hit the untapped land and play Citadel, we get to Ugin and likely win the game. Oh, I should have attacked. There's no reason not to. In fact, not pressuring their life total is a pretty big mistake. Nah, it's been a long time since I played Citadel.
You try my patience.
The deck plugin still does not have HA4 cards, chat. In fact, I think I need to reach out to their dev and find out if they're having issues or if they need extra people to help support their product. Because normally there's a short delay, but HA4 has been out for almost 2 weeks now at this point, which is a pretty unacceptable delay. Like they literally don't have an option for me to give them money, so like, I would pay money to make sure things are updated, and it should be trivial to get them updated, so I'm assuming it's some type of issue with someone being out or sick or something, I imagine. It's a plugin called, it's called Cardboard Live, it's a closed source commercial product. There's an open source version called Deckmaster that I actually forked at one point and had someone do some updates too, but then the plague, actually, it's been a year ago now. Before the plague happened, I had actually had someone help me put together a fork to maintain myself, and then my time just disappeared when the plague happened. I thought they had a way for streamers to pay them. Nope. Hydroid Krasis? Hydroid Krasis. Alright, so Wilt looks good here. Grafdigger's Cage is obviously great. Krasis seems fine. I don't need the extra win condition from this, probably. Symmetry is very cute when going off a Citadel. For sure. Honestly, one of the biggest questions I have about this deck is how often is this card actually going to be relevant? I guess the Scries were okay in the couple of games that we played so far. But like, is that Scott Pilgrim versus the World? Sure. No, it's Tireless Pilgrim versus the Multiverse, and you can get yourself a Magic-themed shirt like this from Coalescence Apparel using code HOGLANDIA to save 10% on your orders there. They have a ton of Magic-themed bunny shirts. You repeat that. It's Tireless Pilgrim versus the Multiverse, chat. And it's got a picture of Golos on it. Alright, yesterday I hope you washed it. No, I'm a heathen who didn't change his shirt this morning. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, chat. Come on. You don't leave your houses either. Don't pretend like you don't wear the same shirt 2 days in a row. Gee, don't you judge me. Does Inside Out count as the same shirt? Asking the real questions. Ooh, m'lady. Oh, I should have drawn first, right? I lost value on this scribe, potentially. Yeah, we'll keep that. That gets us 2 more stone permanents, technically, right? Only 2 days in a row. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's rude.
We will not fail. Be wary of the ground you walk on.
I mean, we could theoretically die here. Didn't die. Cast Ugin.
Behold, nature's true power. The land will not forsake you.
Minus Ugin exile target opponent. Alright, I think I want the 4th Explorer. I think I'm going to trim the 4th Ascendant Spirit. This card seems fine to top deck in the late game. It's like okay early, but I definitely don't. That one game where we drew all of them was not good. We've not made it 2020 yet. So far we've just been killing people with Ugins. This is where the magic happens, chat. Wellspring. Probably a sack deck. Oh, it's Alias V. I wonder if they're streaming. This is actually the best draw in our deck. Curious on Explore versus Growth Spiral. Yeah, I like casting my spells. Unless my deck has a meaningful reason to want extra instant speed stuff, which usually these ramp decks don't. I'd rather just be able to cast my spell more easily. Was Nissa a good draw? If so, why? Please explain, chat. The classic turn 3 Nissa into turn 4 Ugin. Remember, chat, you didn't have to mulligan. You got to mulligan.
This cannot protect itself. Rise, my elemental friend.
Mull to 5, turn 4 Ugin. Let's go. Let's go. Fair. I often cast Gross Probably anyways. Yeah, exactly. Exactly that.
I will endure.
This is where the magic happens.
Behold, nature's true power.
Nature's true power. Well, Falls is my only blue source, and this is also a forest. Yes, if you animate Faceless Haven and then activate it, it becomes a 7/6, is correct. That is my plan. No, yeah, this is the Snowland. Now, something that we get to know based on our opponent's companion is that we know that our opponent is explicitly not playing Embercleave because they're playing the Wellspring. So I think that means I don't bring Wilt in. They could have, like, Frenzy, but I think we have Ugin to clear that up. I'm gonna try Merit Liege. I'm gonna try a Spirit. Trim Hydroid Krasis. Yes, yeah, it means Annex is out as well. Cause it's a sneaper keeper, do 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 do. Want to draw lands, do 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 do. Hey chat, just need to draw a land next turn. Okie doke. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, lizard on a chair. Take my hands. We'll make it, I swear. Do 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 do. I've only been here for 2 months, and I can already tell you're 0% in another land drop. Wow. Just no faith.
Together,
Alright, so do we play Grazer this turn? I feel like the answer is yes. I feel like I snow-covered forest, attack you, play Arboreal Grazer is the play. Get down tick, exile target player. Oh, concession. Concession Ugin, best Ugin. Folks, good morning. Thanks everybody for hanging out. This is definitely me just taking a moment to plug my very lovely Tireless Pilgrim versus the Multiverse shirt again, and definitely not Magic Arena. Wait, what? Patches? I don't need no stinking patches. There's an arena patch today, apparently. Alias just crashed as well. Weird. Okay, yeah, I think they must have pushed a patch out that, like, broke it mid-match. Thankfully, there's plenty of fiber in my diet, so... $140 megs, that's quite the patch. You must be new here. 140 megs is what we call a micro patch round Magic Arena. Watsy had to patch your client because you drew lands that match and that can't happen. Yes, we are getting new historic cards to the Mythic Archive. So I said we were gonna do standard after the new set released, but I'm now uncertain. I feel like if they're gonna be adding sweet new cards to historic again, I'd kind of like the next open to be historic again. Can't we do both? Chat, it is a lot of energy and commitment to run these tournaments. It also takes a financial investment on Cool Stuff Inc.'s part too. Because, like, while we have an entry fee for these tournaments, Cool Stuff Inc. does pay out more in store credit than we take in entry fees. God bless them. Oh, they're also a ramp deck. They're not just Grawl. Okay. Yeah, it's basically a new set and anthology all in one, which is sick. Doesn't really matter what we do here, because we're doing this. And grab an extra blue source just in case. I'm gonna bottom that. I haven't explored for more rant plus the Nissa. Huh? This could be wrong. They, like, kill our forest and then, like, kill my Nissa. If they can kill the forest, the card destroyer kills my Nissa, then I'm very sad. Yeah.
Let's do this. Now you're playing with fire.
Well, you know what? I probably should have animated the breeding pool there, actually, to have more snow permanence, huh? We're mostly just looking for Ugin at this point, right? 5, 6, 7. This will be 8. So this will be a 6/6. This can technically trade with Garniture next turn.
Yup, you're going down.
Okay, can we survive? Set up a business that acts as a TO for content creators. Was that lethal?
It's my turn.
This puts us to 1, right? Scary.
Oh, that's nasty.
The set up a business that acts as a TO for content creators. The amount of money that someone would need to pay me in order for it to be worthwhile for me to run tournaments on things that weren't promoting myself is, it's probably not worthwhile to them.
Guess you don't need me anymore.
Reality is unwritten.
Reality is unwritten.
Seek shelter in my stewardship.
My flames burn beyond.
Behold, nature.
Okay, so when I tap this, I only get 1 snow mana. Alright, I'm not dead on board, but we're dead to a stiff breeze. You need to restart your arena. There was a client update.
Try my patience.
I learned much today.
There was a client update that instead of telling you there was a client update, just gives a network error. We're going exploring, chat. Do 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 do. Weekly updates from the arena team are supposed to be the new normal, yes. They said last week, oh, punished. I wanted to get more forests into play, but now we're gonna draw a land next turn and not be able to Nissa. Super punishing. Yep. Damn it. That's a really huge punt. think I'm actually animating Faceless Haven here because I don't really want to risk Forest that tap for 2 or my blue source. Got him.
It's playtime.
8, 10, 11, X is 9. Yeah, Demonic Tutor and Swords to Plowshares will be on Arena, but they will not be historic legal. And I imagine we'll start seeing a small selection of cards like that get back added too, because I would expect a goal for Magic Arena is to eventually have Vintage Cube on it. Because trust me when I say Vintage Cube makes Wizards of the Coast an unholy amount of money on Magic Online. And I can't even fathom how much money it would make on a platform like Magic Arena. Vintage Cube on Arena would ruin me financially. Yeah, you and a lot of others. You're not alone. Poker face, poker face, mine. We actually played Teamer Climb yesterday morning. It was not very good. Spoilers.
Strange and magnificent world.
Oh, I actually punted here, so I could have, if I would have played the pathway. I could have... No, because the extraness mana isn't snowman. Never mind, I'm wrong.
You want to play with fire, huh? Stop, drop, and roll won't help you, buddy. The land will not forsake you.
Yeah, cards like Plow and Demonic Tutor being added will be huge for fan-made formats, like Gladiator and people playing casual Commander. For sure. I would expect being able to have your own cube on Magic Arena as a feature we'll probably never have.
Stop. The land shall conquer you.
It's a breeding pool, so I can hold up Aether Gust. Hey chat, Nissa and Hydroid Krasis might still be pretty good together. Logan, I'm gonna play a few more matches with this, but for reference, the reason why I didn't build the snow deck initially when I built our first Merit Liege's Slumber deck, I built the blue-red snow deck, is I'm pretty confident that this deck is just worse than playing normal blue-green ramp. Like the snow cards in here aren't really adding value, which is why I didn't try and build a deck like this initially when I built around it, because I don't like building just worse versions of other things. And this definitely just feels like a worse version of normal blue-green ramp. The scries have been okay. I haven't been too upset with the scries from it, I guess. Jund is 33% for historic this weekend. Do you have a link to that? Links in chat are appreciated. And a game breakdown, sweet. We'll pull that up after I'm done with this match. For people that want to see that on stream and get my thoughts on it. This to plain blue-green ramp deck you reference. I mean, it's not really an established archetype in this format, no. But it would look something like this without, like, the 6 snow cards, basically. Huh? I was hoping for an untapped land here so I could Nissa into Cultivate.
Witness the ties that bind us all. Be wary of the ground you walk
Whenever I bring up Muxus should probably be banned in Historic, there's always some idiot who hasn't actually played against goblins that talks about how you can't ban it because it would kill the deck. And like, I can always tell people that haven't really played with or against goblins when they say that, because goblins actually, and this, it sounds kind of silly to say, but goblins actually isn't a Muxus deck. Goblins is a Krenko deck, and Muxus is the best way to get more Krenkos into play. That's the actual reality that, like, that's, I can always tell who's good, who's reasonable at Historic, and who gets it and who doesn't. And in a lot of ways, banning Muxus will open up a lot of deck building choices around goblins, because goblins could be a very sweet mid-range interactive deck if it can afford to play fewer goblins and actually play interactive cards. Yeah, I am planning to add deck lists back to my website if Historic can manage to stay not a dumpster fire until, let's say, midsummer. If we get to like early July, end of June, I'm gonna spend time and money putting Historic decks back on my website. But like, it will literally take me, you know, probably a dozen hours and a couple $100 in paying a graphics designer to do banners up for me to put Historic decks on my website. So it's a pretty big both time and dollar investment for me. So I'm not gonna do that and then have the format end up being a dumpster fire and then have wasted a bunch of effort. Hey, Roniz, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. For keeping me around. Imagine encouraging interaction. I know, I'm the worst. So, Stream Decker is another online tool that integrates the lists. So it's more so totally reasonable that the time commitment is actually creating the WordPress pages and writing up deck descriptions, making sure I have the correct YouTube videos, and then like the goal of the deck lists on my website is to not just set and forget them. The goal is to be able to have always updated lists there. So like when I'm committing to putting decks on my site, it's me saying, okay, I'm gonna keep all these pages up to date while I maintain them. It's a commitment from that perspective too.
Behold, nature's true power.
Yeah, so the way the banners go, the way I make the banners on my site, they don't use the full artwork of the card art, so I have to pay someone that knows how to use Photoshop or GIMP or whatever they use to be able to intelligently clip, to be able to clip the artwork in an intelligent way that fits together. My YouTube thumbnails are procedurally generated using a Python script, which is fine because I'm just putting the full artwork from all of the cards in it. Socio Penguin, thank you for the very generous tier 3 and for the 32 months. I think I'm gusting this. Well, I mean, like, so, like, I could do it myself, but the amount of time that it would take me to figure it out to do, it's probably worth just paying the 15 bucks that I pay my graphics designer to put the banners together. My time is worth money. So, I appreciate the offer to do it for free, but I have these damn morals, and I don't believe in letting people work for free. So, if someone's doing work for me, I'm going to pay them for their time.
Harness the elements.
Pay me in exposure. What's going on, Manny? Fine, I'll do it for channel point. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. The simplest gauge, A-okay. Thanks for the follow, Chief Dingus. So this hand doesn't have a payoff in it yet, but it's got like dork and ramp dork into ramp, so let's do it. Yeah, I've done barters before, like people put decks in the queue for doing work for me if they were gonna pay me for deck queue stuff anyways. Like again, more of it so is it's not like paying for the artwork is just part of it. It's more so I don't want to have energy and then have things be a disaster. So I'm gonna wait a little bit and wait and see what the format looks like. It's like for example, maybe the results. Was that the perfect draw, chat? Just like we drew it up. Perhaps the results of the tournament this weekend encourage Wizards of the Coast to finally ban Cat Oven. And then once Cat Oven is banned, the decks that go up there look fundamentally different because Cat Oven is no longer legal. So stuff like that.
We will not fail.
Hey, All Night, thanks for the tier 2. I appreciate the 29 months. Welcome back. We have not played the Elementals deck on stream yet. I'm probably going to do it later this week. It had a ton of votes yesterday. I felt a little bit bad that a deck got 4,000 votes and we didn't get to it. But I had donation decks lined up for today already, so I'll probably do Elementals later this week. We can definitely still lose this game. That's a matron. She's gonna get a Muxus. I need a payoff here. Okay. That's not terrible. Could definitely be worse.
Rise, my elemental friend.
With the Aether Gust here, we might be able to pressure them out of the game with the Faceless Haven and the Nissa. Yes, yeah, it's Temur Elementals splashing, it's Temur Elementals splashing, the, what's it called, card? The, Yarshan. Nope. Tomorrow's schedule is wide open, Rufio. Okay, if their Muxus low rolls here a little bit, we could win this game. LOL, Muxus low rolling, right? That'll do, pig, right? That'll do. We've got 5 lethal attackers next turn. 6. Nice. Sick. Is there a meme deck lying around I haven't quite have enough incentive to put into the queue? You know, I don't think so. We have Treasure Flare. Oh, I think Abzan Fall counts. Does this count as a meme deck? I haven't had a chance to get to this yet, but I feel like Fall of the Thran, Night of the Reliquary probably counts as a meme. That's definitely a meme deck. Any deck with 4 Fall of the Thran counts as a meme. Listen, chat. My like barometer is all over the place. The average thing we play here is real wild. We're on the draw. This hand really needs to draw some lands, but if we hit like 2 to 3 lands to start, we're in a great spot. There's a start. And because I hit this land, the Merit Liege's Slumber could actually be really good at helping us hit our lands at this point, right? We actually haven't played Trickery in Historic yet. It's probably really funny here, huh? You need to like Ulamog people in addition to just Uginning them. That could definitely qualify too. So again, Slumber says whenever a snow thing enters play under your control, you get to scry 1. So this will come in scry 1. This will come in scry 1. Yeah, Bajuka Bog, bro to pro. Bajuka Bog. Yeah, we're actually gonna play Green-White Company after this, and I've got a Skyboat in the sideboard. Dr. Mr. Punny, thank you for the tip. That's very generous of you. Consider this incentive. Let's see Fall of the Meme tomorrow. Definitely. We'll definitely get that one as one of our historic decks tomorrow. You get to play the 1 mana uncounterable elf too. That sounds hot. That sounds really funny, actually. Wait, the uncounterable elf only makes your green spells not counterable, right? So that doesn't help trickery? Or am I misremembering? This is probably a bad matchup for us if I had to venture to guess. Their ultimatums go way far over the top than we do. Oh, I was gonna look at the metagame breakdown. I apologize. I was so... Oh, I didn't... I meant to not hit enter on that. I used my Twitch chat as a text box enterer. Wow! Rude. I was so excited we beat goblins and the Muxus bricked that I forgot to look it up. Boomer moment. That's not even remotely true. We're a node sap now. We could get Fatal Push to Heartless Act here, but I think it's important that I try and kill this Darset if possible. Krasis not drawing cards is real bad. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I think we're probably done at this point. Our Krasis is cut off and they're playing Nissa. We're pretty far off of Ugin with their land dying. I think Ascendant Spirit's actually probably pretty good here as a way to pressure them. Also, it can manage to not die to Heartless Act, which is funny. It's a Ceratops matchup. I'm probably the beatdown in this matchup, right? Honestly, Ugin's like not great here. They don't really play to the board. Hey, Gosfiend, thank you for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Waiting. Do 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 do. Boo do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Feel about tapped into Ascendant tapped. Yeah, I think I like it. And then we could go tapped land, hold up negate / activation. You've learned that Containment Priest does not exile itself or other creatures when entering via Coco. That is true, Psionic. It is slightly less bad than playing something like Grafdigger's Cage. Nah, Bezobucks is still super accurate, Chewy. If anything, Bezos gave himself a promotion by stepping down as CEO. More power, less accountability is basically the TLDR of what happened with Bezos' change at Amazon. I think it's worth showing them that I don't have anything here to get this powered up. Not a terrible draw. Can tag a binding for a turn. Yeah, they also hit themselves for 2, and like I said, we're the beatdown here, so. Sure. This card's neat, right? Like, I actually think, like, there's a chance that, like, the Ascendant Spirit and playing the Snow Mana in this deck is, like, worthwhile over, like, the Merit Legion Slumber seems pretty clunky and bad, especially with our Ugins, but, like, this being a mana sink is kind of sweet. So I didn't put counters on this because I want to hold up Aether Gust here. I mean, this isn't even really a tempo creature. It's a mana sink. You can activate this last ability multiple times, as you can see here based on the card text. Every time you activate it, this gets another instance of when this hits your opponent, draw a card. So this is currently drawing 2 if it manages to connect to my opponent's dome. Do you want to play around Dispute? And that's a good thought. Yeah, maybe it's too aggressive to put the counters on it right away there. I wasn't thinking about Shark Tank, but I definitely should have waited until after blocks to put the other counter on it.
Past, present, and future are bound. I have just the trick for this.
I don't think the comparison to Spell Mana makes a lot of sense, Corvus. It's more like Flood Insurance than Spell Mana. Spirit was really sweet there, huh? Think they're gonna board back in a bunch of removal now? I'd assume so. I'd assume they trimmed some of their removal there. Then we got to do that and run away with the game. Is there an analog to Spell Mana? So the Foretell mechanic in Magic is kind of Spell Mana in a way. It lets you, like, pay part of the cost of a spell up front. I think that's probably about as close as we'll get. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. Would love a ramp spell here. Like a Grazer on 1's our best draw. Suspend is sort of that too. Not really. Because Suspend you don't pay extra later on. For the Magic players in the audience that aren't familiar, spell mana is a mechanic that Legends of Runeterra Riot's card game does, where you can basically save mana across turns, up to 3 points of it, but it can only be used to cast spells and not creatures.
I pray, meditate, and prepare.
Cards like Pact of Negation are kind of the inverse. A card like Pact of Negation, you're paying mana later as opposed to saving mana early to spend it later. So again, not really a good comparison in my opinion.
Keep an open mind.
That's a pretty common opinion, Figleaf. So something that other games talk about is that, so a lot of non-Magic games use that linear progression in terms of mana where you're guaranteed to get a mana every turn, and that reduces resource variance, obviously. The spell mana mechanic that Runeterra has mitigates what I refer to as curve variance, which is, you know, in most card games, Hearthstone, Magic, Runeterra, all of these games, it's generally optimal to be spending all of your resources every turn so you don't get behind. So being able to save resources that you wouldn't otherwise be using to use them later lets you mitigate variance on not being able to play on curve guaranteed, which is nice. Yeah, in fact, one of the things that happens in Runeterra, Drew, is spells that cost 6 mana. There's a number of decks that have existed over time where you just don't play anything on turn 1 or 2, and then you play a 6 mana spell on turn 3. So six mana spells have to be balanced around that being a thing that can happen. We're going to notably untap the Breeding Pool here, because untapping Breeding Pool means I get to hold up Aether Gust this turn, which is nice. This taps for 2. Runeterra's core gameplay is really good. Their current constructed format leaves a lot to be desired in terms of gameplay balance, though, which is why I'm taking a break from it. But when they rebalance their stuff, I'll definitely poke back into it. Unfortunately, cannot Aether Gust the Orion here. We can't get rid of the binding before they blink it though, so we can get one more turn with Nissa. Hopefully we draw Hydroid Krasis next turn and draw a bunch of cards. It's not terrible. I could be right to save this for an ultimatum too. I might be wrong to protect my threats here. I have a negate anyways, sure. Runeterra's limited format is it's fine. I don't like it better or worse than Magic's current format, but it's a lot less popular. Like, Runeterra Constructed's already less popular than Magic, and Runeterra's Limited is even less popular than that.
Forgive me.
So, unless it was something that I really loved, it's just, like, not worth doing over Magic, because Magic's good. If Magic was, like, mediocre, I might consider doing that instead of it, but Magic's not mediocre. Magic has 2 pretty reasonable formats right now. Streaming smaller games also has a real risk associated with it too. Like, for example, I took the 4 months off of streaming Magic to stream Runeterra, and now, almost 2 months later, I'm almost back to the follower count on Twitch that I had when I first took a break from streaming Magic. So like streaming smaller games like that is like basically a death sentence for content growth. And like my YouTube channel is still nowhere close to getting back to its subscriber count that I had before I took a break. It's still like almost 2,000 subscribers light. Ultimatum? Ultimatum? You think Runeterra has less variance in general game design than Magic? Yes, Magic is probably the highest variance card game that exists, chat. Runeterra, Hearthstone, basically every other card game that's ever been made has less variance than Magic. Just for reference. Alright, do I Aether Gust and then just smack them for 5? Or do I Aether Gust at the draw step? Well, I'm definitely not about to let Elder Gargoth block, because it triggers when it blocks, chat. So that would be a very bad play. I boarded my Ugins out. Second Ceratops would be lethal, though. This attack would be Nissa's lethal. That's lethal, right? I suppose they could draw a removal spell here with their block. So they draw and they could hit a removal spell. They're far less lucky than we are, chat. All right, to wrap on this, I think straight blue-green ramp could probably be pretty reasonable in this format. The Nissa, Ugin, Hydroid Krasis package is pretty reasonable, and honestly, Faceless Haven wasn't terrible in this set. Like, in many spots, it was quite very good. Cold Steel Heart was also decent. This card's just not good in this deck. You exile it with your Ugin. I would basically rather this card be anything else. Probably just Growth Spiral. Cold Steel Heart wasn't terrible either, although maybe this is the card that turns into Growth Spiral. Maybe if you want another ramp spell, you turn this into Growth Spiral, and then those other 3 slots, what's the giant called? The Adventure Ramp Giant is probably really good. The Adventure Ramp Giant. And honestly, Beanstalk Giant. Ascendant Spirit was reasonable too, although I don't know that you necessarily want this card main. I feel like I would consider playing this with Snow again, largely for Faceless Haven, and probably start some number of Ascendant Spirit in the sideboard. So I think if I were to do this again, I would probably... I'd probably do something like this. Something like this to start. I don't know, I've got 57 lands here. I don't know, I'd have to think about the sidebar, but these are like the main deck cards I think I'd want to play. And maybe you get up to a 28th land. You could perhaps play some cycling lands in here. You could play a couple of forest cyclers that are potentially fine. But yeah, something like this. This core is really good. You know, these dorks on the bottom is fine. Faceless Haven was reasonable in different spots. Yeah, maybe you could try Graven Lore if you want access to these finishers more consistently. I could see that being okay. If you want to lean into Snow, add a 28th land and a couple of Graven Lore, that could be fine. Let's do that. We'll post that as a deck list on YouTube to give a go. People want Vorn Clicks. You can play Vorn Clicks too. I don't know. I feel like Vorn Clicks is really only great when you already have one of these 3 cards. And I feel like I would rather just have these cards more often, which Graven Lore does nicely, which is great. Yeah. All right. We're going to take a look